It is my pleasure to invite Dr. Aleksandra Gliszezynska-Grabias, the senior researcher of Poznan Human Rights Center, Institute of Law Studies of the Polish Academy of Sciences, to share remarks on Poland and Holocaust legacy. Dr. Grabias. All right. Let her come up. Please, then the video for, I understand, 1 minute. Okay, please.
Karski had an air of moral aristocracy about him, and his narrative had all the appeal of the adventures of James Bond. His dream was to become a diplomat. He was smart, handsome, he studied foreign languages.
He was working for the Polish underground.
One of the leaders in Krakow gave me a microfilm. Gestapo found this microfilm. They could prove you are a spy.
On May 5th, 1943, a secret telegram from Poland's foreign ministry reached the embassy in the United States.
Karski was on his way to Washington with a very special mission to inform President Roosevelt personally of what was going on in Poland.
I saw a lord of humanity. When you describe them, what is happening to the Jews, they will not believe you. What would help our cause if you, with your own eyes, see the situation in the Warsaw Ghetto? I couldn't take anymore, but I reported. We have a choice. We can choose to be robbers, we can choose to be good people. Now I go back 35 years. No, I don't go back, you know. It's not
If you find yourself in a circumstance, whatever it is, you can do something to make a difference. Let Karski's story be one of those that inspires you to try.
Please.
Thank you very much. I'm really honored to be here. Thank you. Thank you. Watch everything, remember, and tell the world the truth about it. This was the mission given to and accepted by Jan Karski. He fulfilled it in a manner which can only be described as the highest order of the humankind. Jan Karski's heroism has not stopped the Holocaust. But because of his heroism, the masters and rulers of the world in that time could no longer claim ignorance as an excuse for their silence. It also proved that a disinterested acting at the peril of one's life for the sake of another's in the darkest hour is still possible. In various documented interviews with Jan Karski, there are the moments when remembering the people who did not resemble humans in Warsaw Ghetto, when remembering starvation and the unspeakable human despair, Jewish despair, Karski breaks into tears and cannot go on talking. And his tears are perhaps the most moving testimony about the Holocaust that I have ever seen. In these moments, I join Karski in crying, because I cannot imagine what it is for a man, after he has done a superhuman effort in order to get across to the outside world with the information about the ongoing genocide, to realize that his message is silenced by so-called common sense, disbelief, political calculus, or simply indifference. What is the legacy of Jan Karski? It is a duty not to look the other way when the weak are being harmed. It is a duty of compassion. His legacy imposes an obligation which is extremely demanding. It requires from us to out the interest and well-being of the other who is a stranger, usually humiliated, dirty, and sick one, above our own. It calls for empathy replacing egoism. It demands courage and doesn't allow fear. The legacy of Jan Karski is also expressed in the obligation for lawyers, legal scholars, judges, and human rights defenders to always firmly stand for the law which protects the most vulnerable against violations of human rights and freedoms, the law which prohibits genocide, war crimes, and crimes against humanity. The legacy of Jan Karski is also reflected in the Jan Karski Educational Foundation, in conferences, lectures, and exhibitions all over the world, which clarify, in particular to young people, what the mission of Jan Karski was. Finally, the legacy of Jan Karski is me, and thousands of other Poles fighting anti-Semitism, acting to commemorate the victims of Holocaust, and pursuing the truth about the Polish Jewish past, by giving an account to both the brightest and the bleakest moments of our common history. In 1960, Tadeusz Mazowiecki, who was later to become the first Prime Minister of Democratic Poland after the fall of communism, wrote movingly in an essay entitled "Anti-Semitism of Good and Gentle People," and I quote, "It is not an achievement to fight anti-Semitism, nor is it a humanitarian gesture of mercy. It is a struggle. It is a struggle for the dignity of Jews, but it is also a struggle for our own dignity. It is a struggle for the dignity of all." End of quote. Jan Karski won this struggle, and he won it for all of us. Thank you very much.